What's up guys, in this guide I'll go over the core support builds and runes for Senna, as well as the main combos, flash combos, and the max DPS combo, which I will save for the end, so make sure you watch to the end. I will also go over tips and tricks which you can immediately apply in your games after this video. Let's get right into it. First, I'm going to go over her abilities real quick, but if you want more details on her abilities, check the description box below where I have linked to the wiki. Her innate passive makes it so that her auto attacks and abilities on enemy champions apply a miss, and her next attack collects the miss and deals bonus damage. Enemy champions, large minions, and large monsters that die near Senna spawns miss for her to collect. Her auto attacks on enemy champions also give her a burst of movement speed, and the miss that you collect, when you stack them, you get extra bonus effects, mainly when you hit 20 stacks of miss. Every 20 stacks of miss, you get extra range, okay? So as you can see, every 20 stacks of miss grants 25 attack range and 15% critical strike chance. 35% of excess critical strike chance is converted into lifesteal. Her Q is basically a point and click damage as well as healing to yourself and your allies. You can use it on your ally champions or also wards and also towers. You can also apply it on enemy towers, enemy minions, your own minions, all that good stuff. If you need to learn more about the Q details, make sure to check the description box below. Next up we have W. Basically is that shit right there, just throwing shit, arms and shit. If it lands, right, it roots them after a 1 second delay, and it scales as you level up more. At level 5, you get to root them for 2.25 seconds, baby. And then you have E next. E next is basically you become a Kali for 6 seconds and you just fucking abuse that shit. And you are invisible and unselectable unless they are right next to you and you guys are just like, you know, having that little cuddle dance, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, on to the next one, and the best ability is her ultimate. Look at how fucking fancy that shit is. But basically, you see this beam right here? It does a super laser beam just like Lux, except it's global, guys. It's global, meaning it goes through the whole map. And that whole area, all your allies get shielded. Alright, so that's fucking OP as shit. Anyways, let's get right into the guide. Alright, now I'm going to go over the Senna support runes for when you have an easy matchup, in which case you want to take Sorcery, Summoner Eerie, Mana Flow Band, Transcendence, and Scorch. You can also opt for Gathering Storm if you want to go for more scaling, but I definitely prefer Scorch for early game poke damage. Secondary tree is Resolve. You want to take Bone Plating to be more tanky, and Revitalize, which heals and shields are a lot stronger, which is a big part of Senna's kit. And you want to take Double Adaptive Force as well as Armor. For the second rune page, it's only really used when you are having a hard matchup, such as going against any hard engaged champions like Leona, Blitz, Thresh, Pike, Nautilus, etc. In this rune page, I take Guardian, Demolish, Bone Plating, and Revitalize. The reason for Guardian is so that you are a little more tankier, and also you get that extra 20% movement speed, which becomes really significant when you want to get away. And for Demolish, it just adds to her really great sieging ability, right? With Q, auto Q. It just helps it a bunch. Bone Plating is pretty self-explanatory. You want to be more tanky. Revitalize, I mentioned that before. You get stronger heals, stronger shields. Secondary tree, we want to go for Sorcery, and we want to take Mana Flow Band for poking and getting that 250 mana when it's fully stacked, as well as restoring the missing mana. Transcendence, you get free 10% CDR, allows you to spam more Qs and OTs. Double Adaptive Force as well as Armor, same thing as before. Alright, so I'm just going to go over the summoner spells real quick. I take Exhaust and Flash. The reason why I take Exhaust is because it helps cover her weakness of being vulnerable when the enemy target gets on top of her. Because if the enemy is on top of Senna, she's pretty much dead. Okay, so in order to minimize the damage and save yourself, Exhaust is the best bet. Okay, you can also go for Heal, but that's only really applicable when your ADC is taking Teleport. And maybe take Barrier to get a little tankier, but I definitely prefer Exhaust, as you can peel your ADC as well So like, especially in this assassin meta, exhausts can really be game changing. Alright, so I'm just gonna go over the items real quick for Senna support. First item is obviously Special Sickle. If you guys don't know already, this item doesn't require you to upgrade it anymore. You can just get the passive, you proc the passive, get the gold. Once you get it, it automatically upgrades, so you don't have to do anything. Next item I want to talk about is Move with Swiftness. Alright, this is pretty self-explanatory. You want to move around the map pretty quickly, and it's better than Moby since you'll be auto-attacking a lot. And then Umbral Glaive is the third item you want to get. You have two choices whether to go for Dustblade or Umbral Glaive. Umbral Glaive is definitely my go-to, okay, because it's cheaper, right? And it's most applicable when your ADC is decent, okay? If your team is at least decent, then you want to take Umbral Glaive, so that way you don't have to hard carry with Dustblade. Okay, another reason to take Umbral Glaive is if the enemy has any sort of traps like Teemo or Jhin, then you definitely want to take Umbral Glaive. In the case that you want to carry your team, or your team's just complete trash, then you want to take Dustblade and just solo carry the game. I don't know why that showed up. Anyways, next you have the fourth item, which I take is Adin's Unholy Grail. It really helps with your mana problems, especially as a support, right? If you're using a lot of healing, this also adds to it, right? And also the cooldown reduction is just bonus on top of that. Fifth item you can get is Yomu's Glowblade. This item allows you to get 40% CDR, okay? Assuming that you have the Transcendence Rune, obviously. So with Yomu's Glowblade, you get 40% CDR, you just max CDR out, and then you are able to just spam your Q along with Unholy Grail. Then you can just consistently stay healing, and you're basically Soraka except better. And the movement speed here is really important here. The 20% movement speed, as well as the passive 40% movement speed out of combat, allows you to make roams and just catch up to go for some sort of pick with your W, or even just bonus movement speed to get away. Because if anybody gets on top of Senna, you're pretty much dead and your career is over. Next item, okay, for the last item, usually by the time the game gets to that point, it's over, but let's just say you get to your sixth item, you either want to get Infinity Edge if your team is lacking damage, or you just want to carry these really bad teammates. Okay, other option is Edge of Night. If you're getting targeted because you're doing really well for whatever reason, then you want to take Edge of Night. Okay, especially if they have some sort of hook like Thresh, Blitz, Pike, any sort of like engage that it's like just one ability, you want to take Edge of Night. Okay, it protects you and it really puts you as a less priority in the target. Okay, Guardian Angel is subjective and situational. Usually I wouldn't really take this, but if you wanted to, you would take Guardian Angel, but honestly Edge of Night is better. And lastly, you can choose Mortal Reminder if their team has some sort of healing, like Mundo or Vlad, then you definitely want to take that. If your ADC is not building that, or your mid laner is not building any sort of Grievous Wound item, then you want to take that. Alright, so I'm going to go over the basic combos for Senna right now. The first one being Auto Q, second one being Auto Q Auto, third one being Q Auto, and obviously you can add W to all of the previous mentioned combos. So you can W Auto Q Auto, you can W Q Auto, you can W Q Auto, you can W Auto Q Auto. Okay, so in laning phase you usually just want to use Q Auto rather than Auto Q Auto. Okay, because if you take a look at the speed, Auto Q Auto, the second auto takes way too long and you'll get punished for doing the second auto attack. If you just Auto Q, that's a lot faster, but if you compare that to Q Auto is even faster. So let me do that one more time. Auto Q, okay, versus Q Auto. You see how much faster that is, right? So that's why in laning phase, most of the time, if you can Q auto, it's better to do that rather than auto Q. Okay. The reason being is that Senna's auto attack animation is really slow. So like, let's say I just come up to this guy, you see how it takes longer than usual, right? But if I Q auto, it essentially cancels that animation and makes it instant in a way. Now I will go over the flash combos that you can do with Senna. The first one is obviously Q flash. So Q flash, auto Q, wait, whoops. Auto Q flash, which is slower obviously. You usually just want to Q auto flash. Okay. This is mostly used when the enemy is really low HP, like let's say up to here, and you know that your Q is gonna be able to finish them off, and there's an enemy over here, like let's say over here, chasing you. So in that case, you just Q and then flash away, right? Your Q will finish them and they'll die, and then you just leave. Or if you're disengaging, right, you want to use your W in conjunction with your flash. So you would W and then flash, okay? So once again, W and then flash. Okay, once you cast it, you can flash though. W flash. It's like really fast. Okay, same thing. So Q flash. Okay. And obviously, if you want like a guaranteed W route, you can just flash W. Right? It's point blank. They can't really dodge it unless they flash. Right? So that's another one. The last one is R flash. Okay, so you can actually do a lot of fancy stuff with R flash. What that means is when you are casting R, right, you can flash any time with when you're casting it. So let's say you want an R and you instantly flash, right? You can move, you can flash and it won't cancel your R and your R will still go off. Okay, so I can like R here, flash this way, right? I could R and instant flash. I can R, wait for last second and then flash. Right, so you can try it, you can do it whatever you want. So another thing with R flash combo is that when you are, the place where you are originally stays there. Okay, so let's say I R here and I flash here. Okay, notice that this champion got hit but this champion did not. Okay, so always remember that the path of your ulti will remain the same regardless of where you flash. So you can flash this way, alright, you still hit him. Okay, you are here, you flash here, it won't hit this guy. Okay, you can even flash and go backwards if I can show you. Okay, I'm trolling. I'm actually trolling. There you go. Yeah. Even though I was facing this way, I still was able to hit him here. So another thing with R flash combo is that it's extremely useful when you're near a terrain, any flashable terrain, because you're able to cast R and flash away to safety. So if you're being chased by 3 enemies, you can still cast R and flash away in time. And another benefit of R flash rather than flash R is that the time it takes to cast R is actually minimized because you're canceling the animation essentially. Okay, if compare R flash to flash R, okay, it takes way longer to cast that. Alright, so now I'm just going to go over some quick tips and tricks you can do with her kit. The first one I'm going to go over is with her Q. So you can Q a lot of different things. You can Q any targetable ally object. So you can Q your own ward, obviously. You can Q your own tower, neutral things like that. Whoops. You can Q the blast cone. You can also Q the vision. Alright. One of my favorite tricks to do with Senna is war Q. Okay, so if the enemy is really low HP and you're chasing them and they're kind of far away, they're not within reach to Q, right? Like let's say you're over here, you can't Q them, right? So what you can actually do is just quickly put a ward down and Q them using the ward, and they won't expect it. So it's like an instant Xerath Q and they pretty much can't dodge it. So if I combine flash and ward with my Q, I can get an extremely long snipe. So what I mean by that is I can flash flash ward then Q. So flash ward Q. Okay? So one more time. Flash ward Q. Except do it a lot faster, obviously. Flash ward Q. Okay? So in laning phase, one of the most effective ways to use your Q is healing your own ally as well as damaging your enemy. Okay, and the way you're able to accomplish that is being linear to them. Okay, so if you're here, you can clearly heal and also attack them at the same time. But if you're not, if your ADC is not linear to the enemy, you're not able to do that, obviously. So positioning on Senna is extremely important if you want to play her at a really high level. Alright, so the W trick is when you normally throw a root out, there's a 1 second delay before roots, but if you cast a root on a low HP minion, you'll instantly root them, as you can see. So the trick you can do with E is that it can detect hidden wards, like hidden enemy wards, as well as hidden enemies. So if I were, if I were to use E, oh, and I get a exclamation mark, then there is somebody in here. Okay, so this enemy champion, or it could be like a enemy pink ward. Now I'm gonna go over the max DPS combo, which there's two variations. The first being W auto Q auto ulti, or you can do auto W Q auto ulti. Okay, it really doesn't make a difference which one you want to do, but usually it's easier to W auto Q auto ulti. So I'm gonna show you what that looks like. So W auto Q auto ulti. Okay, or you can do auto W Q auto ulti. Alright, and to make things even flashier, you can add flash to it. So what that will look like is W auto Q auto flash ulti. Okay, so W auto Q auto ulti flash. Alright, you can pretty much use what I told you before about R flash. Right, you can R flash this way. Right, so to combine everything together, you can Q auto flash ulti. Okay, and if you want to flash facing the other way, you have to pretty much move your mouse super quickly behind your character, so direction that you're going, that you want to face, like that. Okay, but I still hit him. You see? I would definitely say try this in normal games and practice tool and whatnot. There's a lot of fancy shit you can do, but you know, just don't do it too much, because I don't want you to get carpal tunnel. I don't want to pay for your insurance, you know what I'm saying? But I fucking broke my wrist doing this shit 100 times, so make sure you smash that like button for me, man. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video or found the video helpful, make sure to smash the like button like you would smash Sona, or maybe Lulu, who knows. But real talk, I'm a Blitzcrank support main that peaked Grandmaster 200 LP this season. I just started this channel and I make gameplay commentaries, montages, and support guides. So if that's something you'll enjoy watching, definitely subscribe to my channel and I'll guarantee you juicy content at least once a week. So make sure to keep those notification bells on. Also, feel free to ask me any questions in the comments below, or comment any video ideas you have. I will reply to your comments as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, and make sure to check out my Senna montage.